5 years of my life in the 4th grade. That was before they diagnosed ADD. We're going to put some 4th graders on the merry-go-round and get the high school football team out there to get it spinning clockwise as fast as it will possibly go. Now, if you have a digital watch, you may not know what clockwise means. Never mind. I'll explain it later. We're going to spin the merry-go-round clockwise. The kids are going to go through 4 phases. They start off in phase 1. They're screaming at the football players. Come on, let's go. Faster, faster. Can't you go any faster? You get up around 30 miles an hour. The kids enter phase 2, where they stop screaming. They just quietly concentrate on trying to hang on for dear life. You get up around 60 miles an hour. The kids enter phase 3, where they start screaming again. But now they're screaming, stop, stop, please slow down. Don't stop, though. Keep going faster and faster. When you get to about 100 miles an hour, the kids enter phase 4. That's where they begin to fly off the merry-go-round. Now, if you watch this carefully, if the kids fly off the merry-go-round, and the merry-go-round is going clockwise, when the kid flies off, the kid will be spinning clockwise until he encounters resistance, like a tree or telephone pole. That's because of a law in physics known as the conservation of angular momentum. You see, if a spinning object breaks apart in a frictionless environment, which is what the Big Bang would have been, all the matter in one spot, no friction, the pieces that fly off are going to spin the same direction as the original object because the outside is moving faster than the inside. And we could talk all day about the Big Bang theory and the conservation of all sorts of problems within our own solar system for the conservation of angular momentum. But the professor said, yes, I understand about the conservation of angular momentum. I said, well, good. Then would you answer me just one question? If the universe began as a swirling dot, shouldn't everything be spinning the same way? He said, yes. I said, well, did you know that 2, maybe 3 of the planets are spinning backwards? Did you know that 8 of the 91 known moons are spinning backwards? Sir, did you know some of the whole galaxies are spinning backwards? Why? He said, that's interesting. I said, no, sir, that's more than interesting. That's kind of hard on your Big Bang theory. He said, why do you think they're going backwards? I was hoping he was going to ask that. I said, sir, it's very simple. You see, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And God did it that way on purpose, just to make the Big Bang theory look stupid. And it is stupid, okay? We cover lots more on that in our college class, CSE 101. I do believe in the Big Bang, though, because the Bible teaches the Big Bang. It says, the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. In the original Greek, that's a big bang. So there's going to be a Big Bang. It just didn't happen yet. So kids, if you go to school and some professor says, do you believe in the Big Bang? You should say, yes, I do, and you better get saved and get ready for it. The Big Bang is coming soon to a city near you. Big Bang Theory is a dud. They've known about it for a long time. We could talk for hours on the Big Bang Theory. It is simply ridiculous. Get the book, The Evolution Cruncher. It's 900 pages, and it's $5. You can get it from our ministry and give those out to anybody you know that wants to learn a whole lot more about creation. The second law of thermodynamics is tells us that everything tends toward disorder. Did you know everything is falling apart? If you leave something alone for a while, it's going to rot, rust, die, break down, or fall apart. Nothing gets better by itself. The Bible teaches that. The heavens are the works of thy hands, they shall perish. They wax old as doth a garment. Nothing gets better by itself. Take a look at your hairdo when you wake up in the morning. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Everything tends toward chaos. Here is Sue at 20. Here is Sue at 900, or at 90. And here is Sue at 3,000. Everything tends toward chaos, folks, and you will also. Be ready for that day. But the textbook says we're getting better. Yes, boys and girls, humans probably evolved from bacteria more than 4 billion years ago. Was your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandpa a bacteria? Now, the evolutionists will say, now, Hovind, don't you know you can overcome the second law by adding energy? They say the earth is an open system. It receives energy from the sun. Oh, and that's supposed to fix the problem, huh? Well, you got several real serious problems there, sir. First of all, the universe is a closed system by definition, not receiving any more energy. Secondly, adding energy is destructive unless there's something there to utilize the energy, an intelligent force. The Japanese added a whole bunch of energy to Pearl Harbor one day, didn't they? They didn't organize a thing for us, did they? We returned the favor and added some energy to a few of their cities a couple years later, didn't we? Didn't organize a thing. We've been adding energy to cities all over the world ever since, folks. It hadn't organized a thing. See, adding energy is destructive unless there's something to use the energy. The sun adds energy to your roof all day long, and it'll destroy the roof on your house, not build it. The sun will actually destroy your entire house if you don't keep fixing things. The sun will destroy the roof on your car, not build it. It'll destroy the paint job, not build it. There's only actually one thing that can use the sun's energy, and that is chlorophyll. And chlorophyll is a highly designed, complex molecule that uses the sun's energy. So when these evolutionists say the sun adds energy and that somehow overcomes the second law, they're either dreaming or they're lying to you. It does not overcome the second law of thermodynamics. This textbook shows the kids a fossil starfish. And it says, boys and girls, 3.4 billion years old. The remains of the early ancestors of modern human beings. Was your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandpa a starfish? I bet he could pick oranges like crazy. All right, now please do not laugh at this next picture. This will be a picture of my brother when he first wakes up in the morning after his first cup of coffee, which apparently was a little too strong. By the way, kids, we have to warn this next generation. Listen carefully. Kids, do not drink coffee. Because if you drink coffee when you're young, when you get married, your babies will be born naked and illiterate. Don't drink that stuff. Okay. This will be my brother on the left. Now here he is right there. Please don't laugh. Right there. Notice what the textbook says. Boys and girls, 30 million years ago. Kids, let me translate that for you. Anytime a textbook says millions of years ago, what it really means is long ago and far away. It means a fairy tale is coming next. That's your warning, fairy tale coming up. It says 30 million years ago, these critters evolved. Oh, there's that word again. You got to watch that one. Remember, it's got 6 different meanings. Be careful about that word. It says they're ancestral to both humans and modern apes. Ancestors to humans? Grandpa? What big eyes you have, Grandpa. The better to see you with, my boy. You know, we've been teaching kids are nothing but an animal, and today, a lot of them act like animals. A lot of folks can't figure it out. Barbara Reynolds figured it out. She's a journalist. She said, your kids go ape in school? Here's why. He's being taught evolution. Guess what, Johnny? You're an animal and share a common heritage with earthworms. You mean I'm just an animal? Okay. I don't even know what kind that one is. That's a porcupine. Mm-hmm. Hey, let me ask you a question. If evolution is true, how do we tell right from wrong? How do you tell right from wrong? If we were going to make a list of things to discuss, abortion, premarital sex, extramarital sex, theft, murder, pick any topic, any moral issue, and before you decide what's right and wrong, you have to decide how you decide. Do you decide right and wrong based upon majority opinion? Do you decide right and wrong based upon what Congress thinks is right or wrong? Is there an absolute standard someplace? How do we tell right from wrong? Or does that change every generation with every new leader we get? Where's the standard? Have you noticed the rock music these days is so full of death and blood and destruction? Well, the Bible says, all they that hate me love death. How do you tell right from wrong? If evolution is true, there is no way to tell. One professor I debated said, there are no absolutes. I said, really? Are you absolutely sure? Well, wait a minute. How can I be absolutely sure there's no absolutes? Yes, there are absolutes, folks. Thus saith the Lord. That's absolute. And the Lord said, ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh, nor print any marks upon you. Some people apparently don't know, or they don't care, what God's Word says. How'd you like to marry that? Whatever it is. Now, well, the problem in America today, and in the world today, is we've lost our standard. We have no way of determining right from wrong. Get a bunch of carpenters together to build a building, but nobody can have the same ruler. Everybody gets a ruler that has a different standard. To one guy, this is an inch. The next guy, this is an inch. How's your building going to come out? Good luck. You have to have standards. We have a National Bureau of Standards to protect the standard meter, the standard kilogram, the standard pound. You have to have standards. The problem is, in our morals in America, we no longer have any standards. We've thrown out the Bible and said, oh, well, if it feels good, do it. Well, look what you're going to get in your schools. We could spend hours talking about the loss of standards. We get into more of that on videotape number 5 about the effects of this evolution teaching. Teachers don't seem to understand it's perfectly fine for you to teach creation science in public schools. There's never been a law against teaching creation in public schools. 2 states, Arkansas and Louisiana, passed laws requiring that creation be taught. Now that's different. They required the teachers to teach creation, and the court struck both of those laws down. And then the ACLU, the American Communist Lawyers Union, said, see, you can't teach creation. That's not what the court said. The court said you cannot require that creation be taught. Even Stephen Gould said, no statute exists in any state to bar instruction in creation science. It could be taught before and it can be taught now.